Now this is cool. What year is this?
1973 100-watt Marshall head in the 4x12 cabinet.
All tube?
All tube.
When I was a kid, if you had one of these things, it meant you had reached the point where you were a rock star.
Yep, absolutely. There's nothing like the Marshall sound. All the great guitarists over the years have used them. Hendrix, Clapton, really everybody. So it's always hard to part ways with one. For the amp and the speaker cabinet, I'd like to get $3,500. If I'm able to make a deal today, I'm probably going to spend the money on tickets to see the new Las Vegas hockey team.
So how much are you looking to get out of it?
I was thinking about $3,500 for the half stack.
Do you mind if I have someone check it out?
Not at all.
Okay, I'll be right back. I got a buddy, he'll know everything.
Okay.
These things are really cool and they sell really quick in the shop, but that's only if they sound right. So I called in Jesse to check it out.
Cool.
Certified rock star stuff?
Yep, sure is. Some Marshall, man. You don't get any more rock and roll than this. 72 or 73?
73.
Very cool. 100-watt super lead. It's the sound that made 60s rock loud.
Okay. So what do you think it's worth?
I'm gonna have to, power it up and stuff and make sure it works. Well, let's plug it in and see what happens here. In a few minutes, you'll see why I can't hear anything.
Okay.
Works. It's still got a lot of power too, man. That's the magic of a Marshall, man. It's just pure volume. And this one sounds really good. It's a good sounding amp.
All right, so what's this thing worth?
And transformers, tubes, and everything pretty much seem original in this amplifier. You're probably looking at close to $3,000 for the setup.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks, man.
Not a problem.
Thank you.
Let me check it out. I'm gonna turn it off here so we don't catch anything on fire. It's a 100-watt super lead. That's the amp that everybody wants to see. I mean, if Rick doesn't buy this one, I'm gonna follow the guy out in the parking lot and I'm gonna buy it. It's a great sounding amplifier.
So what's your best price on it, man?
Well, if it's worth about $3,000, say $2,800.
No, because I don't make no money that way. I'll tell you what, I'll give you $2,000 for it, though.
You heard what the experts said about how great it sounds.
Because if it didn't sound great, it would be less.
Well, how about $2,500?
No, I'll go $2,100. You have to. I got a business here to run. In the mix, I don't make a whole lot of money.
Can you do a little more, $2,200?
Right, you got a deal, dude. I'll give you $2,200.
Great.
Cruise up front, and we'll do some paperwork.
Alrighty.
Vacuum tubes are like the holy grail of nerd stuff.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good.
Like to sell a couple of Nintendo World Championship game cards.
Oh, wow. I've never actually seen these in person.
Most people haven't. These are the most coveted video games on the planet.
So do you have to blow in it to start the game?
Probably. That'll never change no matter what Nintendo game you have. I'm a big Nintendo fan, I grew up with it, and so now I collect the games. It was a time when Nintendo dominated pop culture. While they mean a lot to me, I think I need the cash more right now.
So how much did you pay for these?
More than most people should have, probably.
You don't want to tell me, huh?
Not particularly, no.
And how much did you want for them?
$35,000.
$35,000, wow. That's a lot of money for me to fork out for some Nintendo games. I have some concerns to whether or not that's how limited they are. I don't know too much about these things rather than they are rare and they are cool. So I got a buddy I want to call to come down and check these things out.
Okay.
Okay, give me just a second. I'll see if he's available.
This is really cool. We don't only have the gray one, we got the gold one here from the 1990 World Championship of Nintendo. This is amazing. This is like from the first World Series of gaming. This is like one of those items where like the clouds open and like the heaven choir and...
Not many are left.
Exactly. That's so cool, man.
All right, so I get that these games are collectible and they're cool. Are they authentic? And how much are they worth?
Well, these all had numbers, the gray games here. The dip switches, everything looks right. You mind if I take a closer look at the Golden?
Sure, I promise not to break it.
I'll be very careful.
All right.
There's always, compared to a regular cartridge, just to have a little more weight, being that the extra chips in this piece here. The label looks right. Everything on the outside looks 100% the way it should. You also have some documentation too. Can you tell me a little more about that?
So here's the bill of sale, and this has the individual I purchased it from, and he was an original owner. Here's his name right here in the issue of Nintendo Power.
Wow. With all the documentation, I'm gonna say without a doubt, this is 100% original. Both pieces here. And if you're a diehard gamer, you know what these games are. Everybody wants them, and that's what drives the value up on these two games. I would put a value on the gray between 5,000 to 8,000. This is a really nice example.
And what about the gold one?
Well, the gold one, the condition is amazing. The label's great. I'm gonna have to put that on the higher end, between 20 to 22 grand on that piece. You should have no problem getting that. They rarely ever come up to market.
Okay, well, thank you.
No problem, and thanks for bringing me, man. I love to see this stuff. Back in 1990, Nintendo only been out for about 5 years. They had the World Championship. Anything related to that event is highly collectible, and the gold cartridge from that event is probably the holy grail of gaming.
All right, so you feel comfortable with what he said?
I think my price before was fair at $35,000.
Yeah, I'm not even comfortable coming anywhere near that price.
No?
You have to understand I have to make money.
Well, that's the thing. The fact that they don't come up for sale is because they're so coveted. So you could charge almost whatever you want, and there'll be someone willing to get it, because the other 12 or 13 out there, they might never be for sale ever. This will be the only one for sale.
I'm not supposed to make super big deals like this, but this could be a once-in-a-lifetime kind of buy. I mean, I see where you're coming from. They are very rare, but if you like to make some cash money right now, I'll give you $15,000 in $100 bills.
No, I think that's too far apart from where I'm at right now. I think maybe I can go down to maybe 32.
You gotta see where I'm coming from. I have to look at it in the absolute worst terms, so I have to look at them like they're gonna sell for the lowest amount, and I have to look at it like it's gonna sit here for at least a year. So what's a more realistic price you're looking for?
I can't come down that much off it.
Okay, well, I mean, I wish I could offer you more, but I'm already stretching what I'm allowed to spend. We're about 15,000 apart, so.
Well, maybe it wasn't meant to be right now.
Well, good luck selling them.
I thought the offer of $15,000 was too low for me, but hopefully down the line, someone will offer what I'm asking for.
What do we got here?
I'm interested in selling my Jetsons Lunchbox.
Okay.
The Jetsons, they're a pretty cool family.
Absolutely.
They're like from the space age.
Yeah, they were basically just the opposite of the Flintstones.
I'm here today because I'm really hoping to sell my really cool early 1960s Jetsons Lunchbox. I haven't used it in many years since I'm no longer in elementary school. I'm hoping to get about $700.
This is pretty cool. So did you used to watch the Jetsons when you were a kid?
Oh, definitely, yeah. The idea of being able to fly above the whole city was kind of exciting.
Crazy thing is, the Jetsons only had one original season.
They really only lasted one season?
Well, they remade them in the 80s. That's why we remember it from when we were kids, because in the 80s, they made a bunch more.
Kind of just baffled that you know this much about it. What are you looking to get for it?
$700.
I know that some of these old lunchboxes go for even more money than that. The thing is every little aspect of it has to be a certain way with a certain thing, and not quite sure on it. I got a buddy that works literally right across the street. Do you mind if I give him a call and see if he can come down here real quick?
Absolutely, sure.
All right, I'll be right back.
I'm really happy they're gonna bring in an expert because I'm a little unsure what the value is.
This is the lunchbox.
The Jetsons.
There you go.
That's awesome. Can I take a look at it?
Oh, please.
It's in really, really good shape for a lunchbox that would have been used. I do notice there's one damage right here on the lid, and that's pretty common to have something like that. The metal gets damaged real easy. And then where these clasps go back, you can see that there's a couple of marks here where they actually hit the lunchbox, and an unused one wouldn't have any type of dent or damage there. No thermos?
I think I have that thermos at home.
Without the thermos, it does affect the value.
So what do you think it's worth?
It's a really nice piece. The color's awesome. It's in pretty good shape, and it's the Jetsons in this condition. With the thermos, you'd been looking at, you know, $700. Without the thermos and as it sits, I'd have to say that you can expect to get $450 for it.
Well, I appreciate you coming down, man.
Thanks, Seth.
Thank you.
I think this is a great item for the shop. Lunchboxes have a huge collector market. It's something the shop will have no problem getting rid of.
So, what would you want for it?
I would love to get $400 for it.
You know I have to make money.
Right.
Do you have the thermos?
I thought I had the thermos. I need to go home and look in my garage.
I'll make you a deal. I will give you $400 for it if you promise to ship me the thermos.
Absolutely. You know I have it somewhere.
Okay, so we'll make a deal at $400?
That sounds wonderful.
Deal?
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, Chum will write you up over there.
I cannot believe I'm taking $400 for the lunchbox. That just blows my mind. I'm going to jet on home and find that thermos.
This is sweet. We just get this?
Yeah, $400.
A little light for 400 bucks.
It's because it doesn't have the thermos.
What's like the golden rule of lunchboxes?
She's gonna mail me in the thermos.
You're kidding me, right?
Look, I had a little faith. She's gonna send me the thermos.
Yeah, you're brilliant.
Told you shouldn't have bought it without the thermos.
Thanks, man.
What is it?
I guess I would have to open it up and see. Aha! Look at that.
What?
Jetsons thermos. She sent it.
So you got really, really lucky.
No, I just
No,
had...
you got lucky.
No, I just had a little faith.
No, you got lucky, son.
Nope, I just had a little faith. That's all. I knew she would send it.
Just don't have faith next time because eventually it will get to you, all right? It's not the way we do business here, and you know that.
You lucked out on that one.
I ordered it myself. It's not even the right thermos. Cost me $25 for peace of mind.
Sounds worth it to me.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. What can I help you with?
Well, I have the prop pistol used by the villain in the 1995 James Bond movie, Goldeneye.
Very cool. There's no such thing as a bad James Bond movie, just some are better than others.
I agree. I have the prop pistol used by the villain in the James Bond Goldeneye movie from 1995. According to my research, $3,000 seems to be about the average market street value for it. So that's what I'm hoping to get for it.
So where did you get it?
I got it online from a prop house in the UK.
Is this the paperwork right here?
This is the paperwork. That's the COA that came with it.
This letter certifies that the above item was production used in the film Goldeneye and various sequences in the film. Okay. How much do you want for it?
Well, you know, it's a tough call. I mean, there's so much sentimental value to it, which to me is priceless.
I don't care about sentimental value at all. I can't make money on it.
I'm thinking $3,000.
Okay. Let me call somebody who will know everything about this. I got a buddy who all he does is like Hollywood memorabilia. So let me have him take a look at it, see if he can screen match it.
Sounds good.
All right, give me 5 minutes. I'm gonna give him a call.
You got it.
Harrison, Rick Harrison.
So anything we find from a James Bond film usually bring pretty good money at auction.
Okay.
For my authentication purposes, I happen to have a screenshot that I brought with me. In the photograph, it looks like it's not a static trigger. It looks like he actually is putting some pressure on the trigger. If I apply pressure to this trigger, it breaks. So you can also see in the photograph, there's a significant gun sight at the front of the gun. There is none here. There is a nib, but no gun sight. It raises questions. So, with everything I can see, there's just too much inconsistency here for me to say it's that gun, but it certainly could be a gun from the film. Okay. But one of dozens that were made for the film.
Okay, fair enough. Okay.
All right?
Okay. All right, thanks,
Thank
man.
you, Rick. Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you, Rick.
Thank you.
I hate it when this happens, but I mean, like, if it was never used, it's not worth a lot, plain and simple. But if you can prove it's the real deal, I'll give you $3,000. You're the one who's gonna have to go frame by frame to a 2-hour movie and try and find a screenshot that matches. And when you do it, make sure you download it in high def.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, man. What we got here?
Brought some old sneakers in for you.
Awesome. Jordans? Let's see these bad boys.
No, that's Roberto Clemente?
Yes.
These are cool. I like these. What are you doing?
I love how new shoes smell. Smell it. Smells
No.
Clemente's pretty much the best Pirate baseball player ever. Did so many great things for the community and for baseball. Basically, they're the shoes say Roberto Clemente on the box and on the shoe. They're unworn and they're in mint condition. The first 2 times I was here, I was very successful making 2 deals, and I'm hoping the 3rd time's a charm.
There's one thing in this world that I have learned from Chumlee, and that is there's a market for sneakers. You're the one who knows everything about shoes.
Yeah, I'd never seen them before. These are pretty cool. They got some nice little leather going on in here. It's real bad quality, though. The stitching's not even the same. You can tell they were just samples.
I think they're bitchin'. I like them. They're obviously brand new. They don't look like they've ever been worn. Now, I'm assuming you want to sell these? What do you want to do?
Well, I'd like to sell them, but my biggest thing was they're prototypes. And every shoe that I've seen, they come in blue, they come in red. And this is the only pair that I know of in Pittsburgh Pirates yellow.
Well, they're not yellow. They're more like
Orange.
They're definitely not yellow. That's like way farther around in the color wheel. How much you want for them?
Air Jordan prototypes sell for $100,000 on the internet.
Now, I didn't ask you what Air Jordans sell for.
Well,
How much do you want for these?
I was thinking that a fair price would be $2,500 would be fair.
Okay, I have no idea. I got a buddy of mine.
Okay.
I call him in a lot when I deal with expensive sports stuff.
Sure.
Maybe he can get a clue on what these things are worth.
Okay.
Hang out for a little bit, have an intellectual conversation with this young man, and I will be right back.
What's up, dude?
Oh, you do that? Bam. That's fine.
No kidding, man. These are awesome. I mean, these are 1972 Roberto Clemente. I mean, Hall of Famer, hero, MVP, All-Star. Clemente was all those things.
Apparently he was in the fashion industry as well.
Well, this is really cool because, you know, obviously shoes took off in the 80s with the Air Jordans, and these are 1972, endorsed by Clemente. These were way ahead of their time.
Did he pass away in 71 or 72?
He passed away after the season in 72. Plane was overweight, apparently, and it crashed into the ocean. Although his body was never found, I mean, it was a tragic day for baseball. Roberto Clemente is quite possibly one of the most beloved and best outfielders ever to play baseball. You know, he played 18 seasons for the Pittsburgh Pirates, won 2 World Series championships, plus he was the first Latin American ever to be enshrined into the Hall of Fame. First of all, these look in like brand new condition, and also we had the original box.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, it's amazing. The soles, everything with the facsimile signature, the number 21. And these are exceedingly rare.
Okay. What the hell are they worth?
Well, I mean, pretty much anything that touches Roberto Clemente's body is going to have tens of thousands of dollars of values, like jerseys and bats. Now, obviously, these were never worn by Clemente, but they're just as rare as some of his, you know, items. Top condition with the box and everything. You're looking at about $1,200, $1,500 for these.
Okay. He was wanting a little bit more.
Yeah, don't we all?
All right, well, thanks, man.
You got it. These sneakers are only around for about 1 year. They discontinued them for some reason after Clemente passed away. Had they continued to produce them, I think they really would have done well in the market.
What's your bottom dollar on them?
You're gonna laugh, but my bottom dollar is exactly what he said, $1,200.
They might be one of a kind, but there are thousands and thousands of one-of-a-kind things out there in the world. Like, it'd be like $700 for them.
Right, see, I would be definitely taking a loss, and to trade something like this for something so common as money, I really wouldn't want to do that.
So common as money?
If you think about it, money is super common, and these are super uncommon.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll go $800. That's my top dollar where I feel comfortable buying
Right.
it.
To me, maybe I'm the right owner for these shoes. To me, they're worth more than that.
Okay. Well, if you change your mind, if your wife makes you sell them or anything.
All right.
Have a good day, man.
All right, thank you, I appreciate it. I didn't make a deal this time, but I got perseverance on my side, so I'll definitely be back.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, I brought you a really rare piece today from the Desert Inn Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is a miniature roulette table from the Desert Inn Hotel. I'm here today to offer my little miniature roulette table. It was made back in the 50s. I saw the table and I was fascinated by it. I hadn't seen one before, and I bought it at an antique show in Portland, Oregon.
What are you looking to get out of it?
I'd like to get $750.
$750.
I don't know enough about this thing.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go give Andy a call and see if he wants to come down and take a look at it.
Oh, yeah, I got a buddy who deals in all these antiques. He'll probably know more what it's worth. If you don't mind hanging out, yeah, give him a call.
All right, I'll be right back.
I got 6 kids. It's all the gambling I need to do.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
How you been?
Always good.
How's it going?
Hey, Rick. Is this it? This is what you called me about, I'm assuming?
We got a Wilbur Clark's Desert Inn mini roulette table. Yes, what do you think of fabulous vintage Vegas?
I love vintage Vegas. I'm a nerd for it. Okay, so this is probably 1950s era, yes?
Yeah.
These are very cool items because they used to sell these at the gift shops, and they would sometimes give them away on New Year's Eve, usually to high rollers, because as you can tell, it's a well-made piece. And it is, oh, look at that. It is great. You have the original ball. It is very rare you actually have the ball. That's usually the first thing people lose.
So what do you think? I mean, it does look in pretty good shape for being this old.
There's definitely some wear on it. You can tell where people have been putting their hands. There's some scuff marks here. I mean, that's to be expected, because people didn't always use chips when they were playing with these at home. This pamphlet is very cool. It does add to the collector value as far as, like, if you're going to display it, you've got something cool to display it with and something fun to look at.
So what will it retail for?
It's a nice piece. It's not in bad shape. There definitely is a market for them. I think this one, as it is, even with all you have here, I think you're looking at about $175 retail.
Okay, well, thanks, man.
Yeah, my pleasure. Have a good day, guys.
So I think we're pretty far off from $750, man.
Hey, what's your best price?
Probably my best price on it is $550.
I can do $125, man.
That's not gonna do it.
Well, if you ever change your mind, you know
Sure.
where I'm at.
All right, thank you. They only offered me $125, and I paid a lot more than that for it, so I couldn't sell it for that.
Hey, how can I help you?
I have a very, very unique piece of Beatles memorabilia.
Okay.
These are one-of-a-kind Beatle tickets for the movie A Hard Day's Night before there were any premieres. My brother worked on the ad campaign.
You know the part I love about this the most? Believe it or not, in 1964, those haircuts were risque.
It looks like Justin Bieber, who had a movie come out right after his career. That's all I'm saying.
The tickets are 50 years old. Other than showing a few girls my rare Beatle tickets, they have not seen the light of day. I'm hoping to get 800. After all, I did get them for nothing, so anything I make is a profit.
What is the movie about?
The movie, it was about the day in the life of the Beatles and girls chasing them around and dealing with record executives and a few things like that. And it was a cute little comedy.
It's the same story since the beginning of time. I don't
They
care if
became
it's
one
the Beatles or Eminem, it's the same story over and over again.
But the thing is that this is when they first came out, and what happened was they ended up becoming one of the greatest, most iconic rock bands in the history of music. The Beatles, they had record-breaking sales, they were unbelievable songwriters, and that's why collectors still go nuts for anything associated with them. Starring in their first full-length, hilarious, action-packed film, The Beatles, A Hard Day's Night.
Are you trying to sound like Mr. Movie Phone or something?
Yeah. Okay. I love them. How much you want for them?
I'm looking for $800 for the pair.
Okay. This is a big problem with me, okay? It's different than it's for the movie. I can tell you that you can get Beatles tickets for their concerts for next to nothing. So
I think that that's a fair price. They were printed only for that show, and I believe there are no other tickets around like them.
I have no idea. I would like someone to look at it. I got a buddy, he works right down the street. He's like the #1 guy in the world about rock and roll memorabilia. If anyone can give me a price on these things, he can.
Okay, great. I was quite shocked that the younger gentleman in there was so disdainful of the Beatles. I mean, he compared them to Justin Bieber. I mean, how can you say that in the same breath?
What you got?
These right here, tickets to A Hard Day's Night.
Are we going? You taking me? Well, this is one of my favorite movies. This is the Beatles. This is just the bomb.
So do you know much about the tickets or anything else like that?
I've had lots of stuff like this. Not exactly
not
this one. No, not this one. And I'll tell you why. I might call this a preview because it's almost a month before the movie premieres in America. It came out in London on 6th of July, if I remember.
Okay.
And like 12,000 people packed Piccadilly Circus trying to get a glimpse of the Beatles going to the premiere.
Okay.
So what are your concerns about these? What do you want to know about the tickets themselves?
Do you think these are real?
Well, let me take a quick look at them. Now, obviously, what's so great about this is the condition. You didn't fold them to put them in your pocket. I have not seen these from New York, but it's the same graphic used for the posters and things like that.
So you think they're 100% legit?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, no question about it.
So how much are they worth?
If these were the English premiere, they'd be worth a couple of grand. But I would say for the New York preview, $350 to $400 a piece.
Well, thanks, man.
Hey, anytime.
Appreciate it, bud.
Next time, buy me coffee.
Okay, I will.
I have seen similar, and I've had them in my collection, but these ones were one of a kind. Well, he had two, so two of a kind.
Okay, he says they're worth $700 to $800. If I pay you $800, I'm not gonna make anything, okay? If you want $400 for them, that's what I can do.
I'll tell you, I think a fair price then would be, you still make a profit on it at about $650.
No, that's...
You still make plenty of profit on this.
No, it's not. No, it's not. If you want $450, I'll go $450.
6? Can you do 6 on this?
I'll go.
I mean, they are so unique. They really, really
They
are.
really are unique, but the thing is with the Beatles, there's a billion unique Beatles things.
Do 550 and we have a deal?
Nope.
5 1/4?
Nope. I'll go $500. $500 is a fair price.
Okay, deal.
All right. Write them up, son.
All right, man. Meet me over there, dude.
Okay. I feel okay about my final deal. I'll probably wind up taking my daughter out to dinner tonight with the money. I think I did right by it.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey there. I have a authentic signed Dan Fouts jersey.
Okay. This is the greatest quarterback of all time, period. And I know there's a million people that will argue with me, but I really don't care. I grew up in San Diego.
I picked up this jersey about 10 years ago at a sports memorabilia shop in San Diego. I think Dan Fouts is one of the most underrated quarterbacks in NFL history. I'm gonna ask $500 for the jersey. I'm not really sure what it's worth, maybe a little less, we'll see.
I grew up right down the street from the stadium. He was my idol as a kid. If he was playing today, Dan Fouts would be one of the best quarterbacks in the league, no question. This guy threw for over 4,000 yards 3 years in a row. As far as quarterbacks go, I can't think of one that was ever better. Gosh, that is one blobby signature. If you didn't know who Dan Fouts was, would you be able to read that?
I know it's real.
How much you want for it?
And we can start around 500.
You have to realize, I'm telling you, of all the jerseys you find out there, especially on the internet, and a lot of sports shops, 90% of them are fake. I would like someone to look at it. I got a buddy, he works right down the street. He's got a sports shop. Let me get him down here real quick. He'll look at the signature. If it's legit, we'll talk price, okay?
All right, thank you.
Be right back.
I believe the signature on the jersey is authentic, and I welcome him bringing in any expert he may choose to do so.
Rick, what's going on, man?
I'm just living the dream, looking at like the greatest quarterback there ever was.
Greatest quarterback in the history of football, debatable. Best quarterback statistically in the late 70s, early 80s, I'll give you that, man. You gotta understand, I mean, when Dan Fouts came to the team, they were a losing franchise. Dan Fouts was the prolific passer of that time. On average, their offense would put up about 30 points per game, which was just unheard of back then when the game usually focused on defense and running.
I just want to make sure it's legit.
Okay. This is what I have here. This is from PSA's website directly. This is an example of a Dan Fouts signature. So what I'd like to do, we'll turn it over, we'll compare the two, the characteristics of the autograph, and I'll let you know what it is.
Okay. The signature is really, really blobby.
Ah, the old paint pen, yeah. Looking at a Dan Fouts signature, you just want to focus on a couple of the key characteristics. It's a very small, compact signature, starting with the D in Dan. All of his signatures I've seen, it's a pair of stacked loops, with the top loop being significantly larger than the bottom. And then the F, that's the main thing you want to look at. It's a standalone letter, and the lower bar in the F is always going to be symmetrical with the cross and the T. Based on my experience, I've seen a lot of Dan Fouts signatures out there. Comparing it with the template, this one's easily 100% authentic.
Okay, sweet. So what do these jerseys go for?
Unless you're from the San Diego area, grew up watching them, there's just not a lot of new collectors out there looking for Dan Fouts. You're looking at about 150 bucks here.
Okay. All right, so 150 bucks?
Yeah, so he's one of those guys where if somebody wants one, they typically already have one.
Okay, well, cool, man, thanks.
Hey, you got it, man. Thanks. Hey, good luck to you.
All right, good to meet you.
If this jersey was game worn, we'd be talking completely different numbers. You know, game issued equipment doesn't come up for auction too often, and when it does, with a player like Dan Fouts' career, it would go for thousands of dollars.
Well, you heard him.
I disagree, but
I'll give you 150 bucks. That's what it's worth. I want it for myself, but that's what I could give you. I mean, if I go get another one on the internet for right around 150, I'll just go there. I mean, this was just in front of me right now, and just brings back a lot of memories. So if you want 150, I'll give you 150. And I never pay people what it's worth.
yeah, just
Think about it. No one's gonna pay you more. I guarantee you.
I'm gonna have to bring you something else back to.
Okay, well,
work
bring
on
me
that.
something else. I mean, if it's
Yeah.
Chargers related, I'll pay more.
I might have something else for you. So.
All right. Thanks, man.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you. All right. 150 bucks. Sounds like the expert's a Broncos fan to me.
What do we got?
Okay, these are some Marciano stuff.
Okay. Rocky Marciano. Nice.
These are championship-worn trunks that he fought Rolling the Stars with his second fight.
Okay. That's amazing.
These are a pair of gloves that he had when he fought Joe Prezzi.
Was it Susie Q?
Susie Q. That was the overhand right.
He hit you with Susie Q, and it was pretty much lights out. You know, did it 43 times.
I was probably about 8 years old when Rocky first started fighting. Never got beat in the ring. Joe Louis, Muhammad Ali, they all got beat. Marciano's the one.
A lot of people out there would argue that he's the best boxer of all time.
Well, there's no argument.
What else we got?
This here is a watch that was given to Rocky on his retirement.
Can I take a look at it?
Sure.
Okay, to Rocky Marciano, undefeated heavyweight champion, May 6, 1956.
This here is a stub on Rocky's last fight.
Okay, his last fight against Archie Moore?
Yeah.
Wow. There hasn't been anybody to ever go undefeated and retire undefeated as a champion. It doesn't happen.
No one ever thought a guy who weighed 188 pounds could hold the world heavyweight title for 4 years straight. In a boxing town like Vegas, this stuff could go for a small fortune, if it's legit.
Let me ask you, how'd you get all this stuff?
Well, my best friend was Rocky's brother, Peter Marciano.
Okay. So do we got any kind of authenticity with this stuff, or?
I don't have anything with me, but I can get it from his brother, stating it is Rocky's stuff.
Okay. So what are you looking to do with it?
Trying to raise some money for the Rocky Marciano Foundation, which gives out scholarships to underprivileged children.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. I'm looking to get $300,000 for everything.
That's a huge number, my man. I got a buddy that's pretty good with stuff like this. Let me have him come down and kind of give me an idea of what they're worth, all right?
All right.
All right, I'll be right back.
I don't know what the expert's going to tell me any different. I know it's Rocky stuff. I don't know how I could prove it. Can I take a lie detector? Yeah.
This is one heck of a spread, man. I mean, we could have some serious money here.
Absolutely.
The single word that comes to mind when I think of Rocky Marciano is the word fearless. He was just your prototypical bruiser in every sense of the word. You know, he would just go out there like a sledgehammer and just pummel his opponents.
Absolutely.
What concerns do you have?
Tell me what this stuff's worth and is it real?
Okay, we'll start with the ticket. I've seen a lot of these tickets from the Archie Moore fight, and, you know, it's got some condition issues, but there's no doubt about it. This is an authentic ticket from the last fight. Ticket stub in this condition, they sell for about $100 all day. Now, here we have a watch presented to Marciano.
Right.
Okay. Considering how immensely popular Rocky Marciano was, I'm sure he received a lot of these little perks. Based on the fact it's a quality watch, I would say it's worth around $5,000 then.
All right.
That's what Marciano wearing it and everything? Yeah. Okay.
Okay. What about the rest?
All right, well, we saved the best for the last here. So these gloves and these trunks, they're dead on consistent with what Marciano wore during his fighting days. He used Everlast gloves. He used Bentley trunks. He used this style of trunks when he fought Listarza both times. We seldomly see a pair of gloves, you know, especially documented to a specific fight. Regardless of who he fought, I mean, if these are authentic gloves from that fight, quite possibly we could have the most valuable piece of Rocky Marciano memorabilia I've ever heard of. What it all comes down to with items like this is what can we prove? So, I mean, do you have any kind of paperwork with these?
I don't have it on me, but I can get it from his brother.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get a notarized letter from Peter himself stating that these items are exactly what they are, that would go a long ways.
So, if we're able to get all the proof in the world that these are real, what are you saying on the lot?
For the trunks, only very few trunks have ever surfaced from his actual professional days. You're talking $15,000, $20,000 on the trunks alone.
Okay.
Now the gloves, again, these could quite possibly be the best piece of Marciano memorabilia ever if we get the right paperwork in place. Being that a pair of Marciano gloves has never surfaced, especially from a fight, I mean, I would say a minimum of $25,000 on the pair of gloves. So taking that in consideration, we're right around $50,000 for the lot.
Okay.
And it can go a lot higher from there.
Jeremy, I appreciate it, buddy.
You bet, Corey, man. I know the seller was hoping for a higher price than I quoted him, but, you know, that's just a bottom line number. Of course, it can go for exponentially more, but, I mean, good luck in finding the guy that's going to pay that.
I think he was very low, to be honest with you, but...
I don't necessarily disagree with you, but let me tell you, my man, to get the big money out of these, the six-figure money you're asking, a notarized letter ain't gonna do it. We need facts, we need proof, we need something that's not opinion. If someone's gonna give you the money you can buy a house for, I want the sweat tested of this to find out if it's Marciano's. You know what I mean?
I understand where you come from.
I mean, I believe every word you're telling me, but a letter ain't gonna do it to get the big bucks. It just doesn't work that way.
So, in other words, you're not interested in these?
I'm not gonna take them, but I'm gonna tell you, don't give up on them.
Oh, no.
I mean, there's gotta be a way to prove that they're real.
No, I understand that, and thank you.
Well, I appreciate you coming down, my man. Thank you very much.
All right. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it up in an auction, and if it don't sell, I got some sun here in Vegas, so I'm pretty happy.
What do we got here?
Original blueprints to the USS Maine, 1887 to 1889 before the ship was sunk.
That's really, really cool.
These are the propelling machinery and also 10-inch turret mounts.
Whoa, I've definitely never seen anything like this.
I came to the pawn shop to sell my blueprints of the USS Maine. I got these from an antique magazine. I've researched for over 10 years. They're the only ones that I know of that exist. I like to sell them because I could use the money.
So how much do you want for them?
I want $9,000 for this one. I want $6,000 for that one, and I want $10,000 for this one.
Okay, these are my big concerns here, okay? They're not blueprints, okay? Blueprints are gonna have measurements. We have no measurements here.
Right. So these are the preliminary designs. Before those guns were put on the ship, these were made.
All right. I want to find out exactly what these are. You know, I got a buddy who collects all this military stuff. Do you mind if I have him come in and take a look at it?
Not at all.
Let me give him a call.
All right, sounds good.
These could be great pieces of American history, but I'm not really sure. So I called in Craig to help us out.
Wow. Guys call me down to the shop when they need to know something about a particular antique or they need to know a value. Do they all say Isaac Friedenwald?
Yes. This one also says it, and this one also says it. So he is a lithographer in Baltimore.
He's a publisher in Baltimore. This is exactly what publishers do. They're going to put their name on the document. I don't buy these having been printed by the U.S. government.
They had private sectors that did work for the government.
Yeah, point taken, but I've never seen government documents that have like a private publisher. They have entire buildings devoted to printing stuff. The ship was finished, I think, in 1889, and it was launched in 1890. What's the date?
1889.
Okay, that doesn't make sense. Why would these be preliminary designs if...
They would have had to have designed this years earlier. I mean, this wasn't...
That's what I'm thinking.
To design and make a gun like this would have taken years.
At least, right? Rick, I know what these are. I think these are propaganda documents. I mean, after the Maine sank, the United States government used publishers to make a big deal about the fact that the Maine had sunk, and that got us into the Spanish-American War. These are definitely not construction documents, I can tell you that. I think they're old, I think they have some history, but these were probably printed after the Maine went down.
No, I disagree. If you check the date, the ship had not been launched yet. So I believe you're wrong to say that these were propaganda or made after the Maine was sunk.
Why would a government take their top secret design for a new battleship and send it off to a printer in Baltimore? Doesn't make any sense. They're interesting looking. I mean, imagine framing these and putting them in your library. If you like naval history, this would be great. Other than that, I don't see a lot of value here. Tops, if you really want to put something classic looking, you know, up on a wall, framed, $300 or $400 a piece.
Yeah.
Am I close?
Well, no. I want $25,000 for them.
Yeah, see, it's like totally different planets.
These are not what you say they are. These are what I say they are because these were made before the ship was sunk.
That may be true. Okay, let's just say, yeah, they outsourced these for some reason, and these did have a pre-sinking relevance. They're still not construction documents. I mean, to me, they're one of many copies made, and they were made for something. Maybe they were made for an official purpose, but I still think they're worth $300 or $400.
Oh.
So that's just my opinion.
Thanks, Craig.
You're welcome. If anything, these were copies. They could have been copies made during the period. More likely, in my opinion, they were made after the USS Maine was sunk.
Well, this guy may be expert on a lot of things, but he's no expert on this, I can tell you right now, because I am 100% positive these are not propaganda, nor were they made after the Maine was sunk.
Okay, I mean, that's my guy. I mean, I got to go with what he says. I don't think someone's going to pay that kind of money. I just don't. I just believe that there was a lot of these probably printed up.
If there was a lot of them printed, where are they? It's the only one.
They might be the only ones, but I still don't think they're going to bring that kind of money.
Okay.
Thanks for coming in, though.
All right. We weren't able to make a deal because the expert's opinion was different than mine. I'm going to keep trying to sell them. Somebody will buy them eventually. I know they will.